134 countries studied in terms of their access to resources and opportunity relative to men. They enjoy comparable level of education and somewhat higher school enrollment ratio than their male counterpart. They are well integrated in the nation's culture and intellectual life. Though less so in the nation's economy, the economic clout in related to men is higher in most Latin American countries. However, numerous Argentine women hold top position in the Argentine corporate world. So women, however, it is believed that the women occupy comparatively good position, but they have to face numerous systematic challenges common to those in other nations, like domestic violence, which is a serious problem in Argentina. It is an obstacle to the timely prosecution, and another problem is of rape, the prevalence of sexual harassment, and a persistent pay gap. These are some other inequalities. So we will, but today we will be discussing about the rise of um, women in the field of journalism in Argentina. So it will be taken by our very own GPLT member, Pirzada Gohar Rasool, which is famous as Gohar Pirzada. He is a journalist from Srinagar, India, and a peace ambassador of GPLT Peace Ambassador. Gohar sir, are you there? Uh, he's okay. So
Abhika?
So let me introduce Gohar sir will be joining and he will be taking up the session, joining the session with us. So let me introduce Alexandra. Is uh, Alexandra is also one of the journalists from one of the member of she was one of the speaker in our previous event, and she's a journalist specializing in children and youth uh, children and youth cultural and scientific issues. She has worked for several prestigious media outlet in her country. She was an editor at El Gráfico, a weekly sports magazine, and editor and director of Billiken, a weekly children magazine, one of the oldest in the world. She was also co-editor, editor-in-chief of Konoza Mass, a scientific and cultural magazine, and creator and director of Kid News, the first newspaper for preteens in Argentina, and BA Voice, a cultural newspaper in Buenos Aires. She is the author of several books, including Arte and Plata, Silver Art, The Recipe of Champion, Mapuche Art, which is the original people of south of the country, Argentina. I think in Chile also has Mapuche culture. And
Yes.
Legend and Stories of Mapuche, Traditional Medicine of Mapuche, Mapuche Herbalism, and the Power. Go ahead, sir. I was reading. I was reading the bio of Alexandra. You can continue after that. Her books. She's also the author of numerous journalist article and an editor for Co Beinstein section of the TN Todo Noticias television channel website. She has completed several training sessions in bio and neuro feedback with Dr. Liana Matulich. She is a member of FEPAIS, Educational Sources of Social Integration. So, sir, go ahead, sir. Now you take on from here.
Yeah,
I have
hello
already
everybody.
read her
Hi.
bio.
That's great. That's great. I have been traveling, so I just joined in. I was able to join you 5 minutes late. So today we are here to discuss on the topic women in the field of journalism in Argentina. We have our participants, various participants have joined. I welcome you all. And since Dr. Shaminaz has already briefed you about the biodata of Alexandra ma'am. So you must be aware of it. Hi. So let's continue. And hi,
Okay.
Alexandra ma'am.
Going
How are you?
to continue.
Hello, Tariq sir. Hi,
Okay.
Neerja ma'am.
Okay. Do you listen fine? It's okay? It's
Yes, it's
okay?
fine. I can hear you. I can hear you. That's fine.
Well, good afternoon for everybody. I'm going to talk about women in the field of journalism in Argentina. And
But I can see it's a coincidence. Most of the people I can see on the screen right now, they are wearing red color shirt, or there is a red background in Tariq sir's background. How is it? It's just a coincidence.
okay, I didn't understand. Sorry.
Everybody wearing red color shirt.
Okay, I'm going to continue. Okay,
Please
the
continue.
page, please.
Please continue.
Okay, the next page. The next page, please. Please. Who is?
Next, please. Who is running the PPT? Okay.
I want to talk about the region of the press in Argentina because you can understand what is happening in our country. Sorry, I have a little problem here. Wait.
Ma'am, I think the PPT is not on display because we are not able to see it.
No,
Please check.
I can see the PPT. I can see the PPT. It's already on the display. I can see it here. I don't know about the other people, but I can see it here.
Okay. Wait. I can see all the. Wait.
Yes, I can see.
Argentina, in 1081, the country's first newspaper was born, El Telégrafo Mercantil. In 1810, with the May Revolution was the great revolution for our country, and the great independence movement, emerged La Gaceta de Buenos Aires, directed by Mariano Moreno, a member of the first junta of government. The newspaper objective was to publicize government actions and promote free of thought. The early press has political purpose and a short-lived nature. The 9th and early 20th centuries, each involved incorporating new content, format, and technological advances, giving rise to the more independent newspaper and a mass market press. The next, please. Okay. In the second half of the 29th century, the first general interest newspaper began to be printed, and they continue to these days. Some of them, La Capital, from Rosario, La Prensa, Los Andes, El Día, La Nación, from the city of Buenos Aires. La Nación is a very popular newspaper. In 1913, the newspaper Crítica appeared, whose content was opposed to the government of the day. This newspaper no longer exists. Many years later, in 1963, the newspaper Crónica was found with a similar style, which remained as a popular publication. The next. In 1945, the newspaper Clarín emerged, a publication that focused in public interest, sports, and entertainment without, I can't see all the, wait, excuse me, Vista, Galeria. Yes, thank you. That focus on issues of public interest, sport, and entertainment without straying from political issues. It remains fully oriental, operational today, licensed by Artear, a group that also has television media, Channel 13 and TN, Todo Noticias, and digital versions. La Nación, currently available in print and digital formats, also has its own cable television channel, La Nación Plus. In 1983, other publications with the democracy, with the Other publications appear, including Página 12, page 12, with innovative and original covers, investigations, opinions, and bylines from prestigious journalists. Over the past 20 years, other media outlets have emerged, such as the newspaper Perfil, which was the first to have a website. The next, please. Exclusively digital media outlets also emerged, such as Infobae and others from different parts of the country. In 1947, the National Congress enacted Law 12,908, the Statute of the Professional Journalist, which established the labor and professional regulation for journalists. This statute established the framework that identifies those who practice the activity, the condition under which they must do so, and the right that arise from their professional practice. The statute does not establish any privilege in access to the professions or in its practice, but rather rules that define the specific of the activity of receiving, disseminating, and investigating information or opinions. And throughout this media story, women journalists have gone through different stages of relegation, evolution, and struggle. Next, please. Okay, let's go back to the history again to talk about the first Argentine female journalist. These women challenged the established male power, broke the mold, and paved the way for those who would come later. A pioneer was Petrona Rosende, Uruguayan by birth and naturalized Argentine. In 1830, she founded the newspaper La Aljaba. This publication addresses issues related to women, their role in society, their position vis-a-vis men, and promote female education. Rosa Guerra is this educator, journalist, and writer, founded two newspapers, La Camelia, written by women dedicated to spreading ideas about gender equality, and La Educación, a religious, poetic, and literary newspaper. Next, please. Juana Manso was an Argentine teacher, translator, writer, and journalist. In 1854, she founded the weekly magazine Álbum de Señoritas in Argentina, which addresses women's independence. She has previously lived in Brazil, where she edited O Jornal das Señoras, considered the first Latin American newspaper aimed at women. Juana Gorrite, Argentine writer and chronicler, considered the first female novelist, founded La Alborada del Plata in 1877, an Americanist magazine that, among other topics, addresses women's social issues. Virginia Bolten, an Argentine woman born in the province of San Luis, we have many provinces, 23 provinces, one of these is San Luis, founding La Voz de la Mujer, the voice of the women, in 1894, the first anarcho-feminist newspaper in Argentina, written entirely by women. She was also an editor and correspondent for the newspaper La Protesta and a representative of Argentine Workers' Federation. Next. Next, okay. All of these pioneers used the press to their advantage for political debate. To promote education, at that time, only a portion of the population was literate, and especially for intellectual emancipation. Their main goal was to enable their peers, young women and girls, to escape the alienation to which they were subjected in a patriarchal world where they were always relegated to domestic tasks. In La Dejaba, Petrona Rosende asked herself, how long will the female sex remain marred in the darkness in which the oppressive system of those who deny them the simplest knowledge imprison them? Next. The Argentine women journalists today. As we saw in 19th century, many women began to enter Argentine journalism through their contributions to magazines and newspapers. This participation was limited, and they were relegated to topics considered feminine, such as fashion, cooking, and family, although some, the most daring, managed to express their opinions on the political movements of the time. During the 20th century, we continued to fight for a place within the profession, confronting discrimination and gender inequality in the newsroom of various media outlets. Next. Overcoming all the difficulties, many women in the last century achieved their space in the media and stood up with professional influence and courage. Among them are María Esther Vázquez, a columnist for the newspaper La Nación, and a writer who collaborated with Jorge Luis Borges, our writer, a big writer, and Victoria Ocampo, too, and Magdalena Ruiz Guiñazú, a renowned journalist and radio and television host. She worked a lot during the more difficult times in politics, and she was a very good voice for the freedom. Today, at the beginning of the 20th century, 21st century, women have a significant and numerous presence in Argentina's media. We lead coverage, set the agenda, and lead large newsroom, both print and digital. However, despite our role within journalists changing over time, we remain a minority in position of power. Next. Full equality with male journalists remains a utopia, a goal to be achieved. According to a report by the Association of Journalist Entities of Argentina, women represent only 30% of management positions in the country's media. In a world dominated by male journalists, being professionally valued was not easy for any of us. In addition to showcasing our talent, an Herculean task, since we always had to demonstrate more than 100% effectiveness, we had to break with preconceived ideas. To reach a senior position within a media outlet, we had to and continue to demonstrate much more than any of the men. Until the end of the last century, women were not allowed to enter the media in fields such as sport, especially soccer and boxing, and politics. The next. In 2018, a report by the Argentine Journalists Forum conducted an online survey of female journalists across the country to learn about their employment situation, their professional role, their development prospect, and their position relative to their male colleagues in the media. The reports showed a perception of job insecurity among female journalists driven by two premises: low salaries, mentioned by 63% of those surveyed, and the fear of losing their job, for 51%. Next. Regarding gender inequality within media companies, two central issues are mentioned: unequal distribution of benefits and unequal distribution of the chain of command. Of the 405 women surveyed, 77% indicate that in journalism, women do not receive the same compensation as men for equal work. Furthermore, 72% believe that women have fewer opportunities for advancement than their male counterparts, and 71% of those surveyed have a male boss. This difference between male and female journalists are not the only ones we must address. There is a level of violence that causes professionals to resist or leave the profession. The next, please. According to a 2024 FOPEA report, violence against women is constituted by any action or omission that causes harm to women and is based on inequality, subordination, and power relationships between men and women. This is a phenomenon that occurred in many countries around the world and draws the attention of states, international organizations, and academia. This has generated various research and studies aimed at identifying the causes and developing prevention policies. This phenomenon is clearly evident in the comments made on social media. The next, please. The Argentine Journalist Forum research was conducted between July and December 2024 in Argentina. The objective was to analyze the situation of women journalists in the country, focusing on their careers and the violence they face in their profession. Additionally, it explored possible actions to prevent and eradicate this violence. The work was funded by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization and the Global Media Defense Fund. The survey was conducted among 544 journalists from different provinces across the country and responded only 215. Most of the respondents were between 36 and 60 years old. Their education level is high. Most have completed university or postgraduate education. Next. Most of the respondents have children between the age of 5 and 18 and have been practicing their profession for about 20 years. Most work in the private sector in space such as radio, television, and digital media. Only 46 share jobs between the public and private sectors, and 29 work in public media. Only 61 of the respondents hold senior position, of which 32 have been in the profession for 20 years, 15 between 11 and 20 years, and 14 for less than 11 years. Regarding this last point, according to the report of the EACR's Special Rapporteur to Freedom of Expression, newsrooms often perpetuate patriarchal structures and gender-insensitive organizational cultures which undermine equality and consequently foster discrimination. Furthermore, it's noted that female journalists face wage gaps and limited opportunities for advancement compared to their male colleagues. Next. The respondents work in various areas of journalism and may even cover several topics simultaneously. 139 reported working in general interest journalism, 84 in political journalism, 45 in cultural and entertainment, 40 in investigative, 15 in financial or commercial journalism, 11 in sport journalism, 8 in gender and diversity, 4 in international politics, 4 in environment and agriculture, another 4 in health, 3 in judicial, 3 in institutional, 2 in local and regional journalism, 2 in digital, and 1 each in energy, migration, media management, community journalism, and religious issues. The respondents work across a variety of platforms. 108 in multi-platform media, 85 in radio, 80 in print media, 53 in audiovisual media, 37 on personal social media profile, 4 in photojournalism, and 1 each in podcasts, institutional media, and newsletters. 113 respondents work full-time, while 102 work part-time in this regard. It can be noted that 66% of women who work part-time have children, and caregiving duties may be a barrier in this regard. However, 98% of women who work full-time also have children, so family responsibility cannot necessarily be considered a condition for the unemployment. 60 of these women have more than one job, and in 66 cases, it is unrelated to journalism. 31 of these, 68 respondents have children, and 38 are heads of household. Furthermore, a report by the International Press Federation for Latin America indicates that 4 out of 10 journalists work for several media or less simultaneously. Regarding their roles, 84 are editors, 70 are anchors, 61 are producers, 46 are section and area heads, 35 are columnists, 35 are contributors or columnists, 10 reports holding a senior position, 10 works in production, 2 are announcers, 1 works on a mobile device, another in marketing. Most of them said it has been very difficult for them to obtain their current position. Next. Factors that can enhance journalist practice and limiting barriers. In this article, the journalist interview argued that several personal factors contribute to their professional practice: academic prestige, independent judgment, sensitivity to social issues, job training, contacts, is very important, contacts in our country, commitment, responsibility, economic power. Next. The limiting barriers are unfavorable economic situation, difficulty balancing work and family responsibilities. If you have a family to support, it's not easy. Lack of experience, low self-confidence, machismo is an Argentine expression, low pay, exploitative work schedules. Next. Action that would facilitate greater participation of journalists. Pro-gender measures in the media, networks of women journalists, protocols on gender-based violence in the media, participation of women journalists in unions and or professional organizations, inter and institutional women's committees. In Argentina, we have many committees and the women are fighting for different subjects. Next. Violence and discrimination. This is a subject very special because we can't see but exists. Despite the progress made and the fact that many women occupy prominent positions in various media outlets, gender-based violence and discrimination still exist, both in the workplace and in the profession. Generic definitions. Any type of aggression, these are the different types. Generic definitions. Any type of aggression, physical, sexual, workplace, economic, symbolic, or psychological, against women simply because they are women, through any means, by any individual. For example, one of the respondents stated that gender-based violence is violence that is perpetrated against a woman simply because she's a woman. The next, please. Other definitions emphasize omissions and thus define gender-based violence as any type of omission or denial of women simply because they are women in any context. In this regard, one of the respondents stated, it's violence that is perpetrated against a person simply because they are women. These include attitudes, actions, or even omissions. There are also definitions that focus on the structural element of violence. Define it's any exercise of dominations against women stemming from a political, institutional, economic, or other source of power with the capacity to impose resulting from the patriarchal system. In addition, here we say machismo. This patriarchal system for us is machismo. In addition, there are definitions that focus on cultural factors. Thus, gender-based violence is understood as behaviors, habits, and social and or cultural pressures against women that affect their status as women, designed to better light, diminish them. Next. What type of violence exists and who exercises them? The Office of the Special Report for Freedom of Expression has stated that women with a public voice suffer constant attacks, being doubly attacked for exercising freedom or expression in public spaces of their gender. The interviewers state that the violence they suffer is in order of importance: psychological, harassment institutional, online, through social media, economic impediment for exercising work, responsibility due to being pregnant, in labor, or postpartum, physical. Regarding the perpetrators of the various types of violence, the person at the top of the list is a male with a higher ranking in the media outlet. The list also includes public officials, private citizens, and other female journalists too. In the case of online violence, it's almost always perpetrated by private citizens through social media. Okay, this is a graphic where you can see the author of the different type of violence. And so say psychological, physical, is a couple, is a man with a similar space, a companion, another woman. This graphic, in this graphic, you can see this. The authors. And for ending this part, the next one. Okay. The next. I would like to expose this the phrase. And IFE's study explained that the gender-based violence suffered by women in journalism not only impact the life and career of the journalists affected, but also has direct consequence for the diversity of voices in the media, the quality of the information they produce, and ultimately, I don't say, the democratic life of societies. This is a little brief about our work in Argentina. I must say that I could work in different medias, in magazine especially, and in digital web too. And I don't have many problems, but I have to work a lot. And many of the subjects that I expose are very common. We don't have the same salary than a man in the same position. We don't have, we must work a lot to demonstrate what we can, that we can, and this is our level, our space, our voice. But we have democracy, and many women, journalists in Argentina are the voice of many movements, as like Ni Una Menos, that fight for the women's rights to be respected, to be safe, and not to be dead by men. Okay.
Alexandra ma'am, I want to ask you one question. Since you have already mentioned the reason for women journalists having more than one job, I'm sure that must be the financials or the payments they receive in as compared to the male counterparts.
Please
Otherwise,
speak slowly. I can understand
okay.
what
Seeing the scenario around the world, as we have been seeing all around the world in most of the places and countries, how much free is the press in Argentina?
In Argentina, we have a free press. We can speak about many subjects, but you have a line. Every magazine, every channel have a line to, but it's free, the press. At this moment, it's a little difficult because we changed the government, because it's a situation different, but we have a free press.
So, since you have been a journalist for a long time, you are a senior journalist, and you have been mostly into the print media. So, how much impact do newspapers have? I mean to say, do people still in this digital age, do people still read newspapers in print?
I didn't understand the last part. What's the question?
In Argentina, is in this digital age, social media and all,
Okay,
do people still read newspapers in print on paper?
no, we have many in print, but the more common is digital at this moment. The magazines are disappear, really. The magazines in print. We read, the people read about the web, so it's different in the mobile. So the digital press is more important at this moment. Many people that work, I work in print press. There were not digital press at this moment, and now I can work at web. It's different because you write shorter, it's the concept, but we can work. Is it
Any more
okay?
questions from the participants?
Alexandra, ma'am, you have in your presentation you have talked about some of the newspaper and magazine run by women who have started, like La Voz de la Mujer by Virginia Bolton, Album Dina Senoritas by Juan Manso, La Alborado del Plato by Juana Goriti, Camellia by Rosa Guerra, and La El Jaba by Petrona Rosende. Are these newspaper and magazines still
No,
running, functioning?
no. Don't exist. No more.
Where they were in Spanish or in English?
We have other kind of magazine, but no feminine magazines. The feminine magazines are from some committees and some groups of women journalists too, but not very popular. Página 12, some Infobae, Perfil are different, but the more old are La Nación, Clarín, La Prensa, but this kind of feminine newspapers or magazines don't exist more.
Karina ma'am, you wish to ask something. You raised your hand.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Alejandra. I'm Karina from Buenos Aires.
Hola.
Hola.
Yes. Si quieres hacerme te la contesto en inglés.
No, it's not a question. It's just to add something to what you were saying. The journalism now for young people is not in the TV, it's not in the newspaper, it's on the algorithms, yeah? And there is no a mainstream. There is a mainstream on TV or in the big newspapers, but for young people don't read that. No. They have their own algorithms. And this is a problem because if we as women, I'm a feminist and I read what I want. But as I read what I want and what I want to ask or to move or to fight for, it's not the same what other people read. So it's a problem to put the female voice to open all the minds, because everyone is reading what they want to read. But I don't know if you understand. Yeah.
But there are many journalists, women, no? Women journalists
yes.
that have the voice in different social networks,
yes.
like in Facebook. In Facebook,
yes.
In
Instagram.
But it's an individual work. It's an individual work. It's not all a group of Ni Una Menos or this kind.
Of course. But there are groups that arrive only to people who are open to read that or to listen to that. For example, last week, this week, the last week, there was this terrible femicidio, of 3 girls. And there is a big march today in the city here in Buenos Aires. But if you see the media, the social media, only women were talking about that, and not men, not boys were talking. They were talking about soccer, not about the terrible thing that happened. about narcotraffic and women killed by narcotraffic. So this is, I think, one difficult for around the world. It's about the algorithm. Maybe I think I ask if you can understand what I'm saying.
I think that this is a very difficult moment for the press in the social media, because the people, the youngs, don't read a lot, and only read they want or they interest. They don't read everything, and they don't have the same responsibility, the same social conscious that us.
Yes.
Generation. We believe and I think it is world because Instagram, Facebook is in all the world, TikTok.
Yes.
So I talk about this in another opportunity, and it's so difficult because the life is so individual, so inside. Okay, and in the channels, not in their channels and cable, I don't know how to say, we can listen about this feminicide, this kind of terrible situation. And there are many women talking about this, men too. But in the social network, it's different. It's for another thing, it's for another subject. I understand what you say.
No, yes, they are talking about that, but they are not using the language, because they are talking about all things that we know about why 3 girls were going around in the night, and not about why 3 girls were killed. Yes, and I think that the last 2 years about this new government we have, and about also the leadership he's having, we are going backwards. The women are going, our voice is never, we have the rights and guaranteed. We are one step backwards, and we have to fight more for that. Yeah.
Yes, I think that for this, I talk about this moment of the press moment. It's so different. It's so different because the leader says, and many young people believe that it's only this. It's only this what he said. So, but socially, we are in this moment. We can see out of our houses, out of the education, is very, very complicated or difficult to understand this society. It's not the society we want. It's a society that is. It's only this. And the press in the social network goes by this line, because the people who dance this, who do this this kind of communication is the leader. is and the algorithms and the consume society, society that only buy things, but not think. It's different. Okay.
Neerja ma'am probably also wants to ask something, since she has raised her hand for a long time. Neerja ma'am, are you there? You wish to ask anything? and even Charles would like to ask if I probably feel that he wishes to ask something. Charles, he has also raised his hand. Charles,
Yes, greetings to everyone.
hi.
Yes,
We
I
cannot
have
see
a
Charles. We
question.
cannot see you.
You cannot hear me?
You'll have to share your video as well. Can you?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but I cannot see you. We just wanted to see you because your video is not.
My lighting is poor. I don't know whether it is going to help, but I would rather I just ask the question because my lighting background is poor.
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, there is this, several studies have been done in Argentina by the FOPEA, finding about 70% of female journalists feeling discriminated, poor pay, and sexually harassed. What are the female journalists in Argentina doing as an organization of female journalists to overcome such challenges? Thank you.
Okay, I don't understand this. ¿Entendiste vos, Karina, la última parte? ¿Qué dijo?
Preguntó, sí, ¿qué hacen las mujeres periodistas que reciben acoso sexual?
Bien, entonces lo dice. Okay, trying to fight for their space is you can do many things. You must think how to go out this situation. Many change the work. Many shut your mouth because they need the work. It all depends. I suffer this kind of in many times, but I thought and I did things that led me to continue without problems, with less salary, with less possibilities, but I continued working.
Nirja ma'am, please go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to say a very good evening to all of you and good morning
Good evening.
for me. But I just wanted to say whatever she gave a I'm very, very thankful to you. You gave a very, very elaborate and informative lecture about women's journalism. And what I found was there's not very much of a difference in the social life of Argentina and India, because patriarchal, social, and cultural pressures are there also, as she was relating, as you related rather, ma'am. But those things are very much prevalent here in India also. But one thing I would like to ask is taking it as a whole. These days, people aren't interested in reading the print media. I mean, as she said, that everything has become digital. So people usually go read or listen to those news in which they are interested. I mean, they do not even want to cover the whole scenario. So this is one of the repercussions, or rather, you can say a drawback, which you find in the print media. Whereas formerly, everybody used to go in for reading newspapers and read and not only reading the news, but also the editorials, etc.
Right.
To make it more informative and more understanding and more elaborate. But this is what is there in absentia. So I just wanted to share this, and if anything she wants to say, ma'am, you want to say it.
Karina, ¿me traducís, por favor? Porque no sé si es el audio, no entiendo.
No, dijo más o menos lo que decíamos nosotras, que la gente lee lo que quiere leer, que la gente ya no lee, entonces lee solo lo que le interesa, ¿no? Lo de los algoritmos, básicamente. Ella acordaba con eso.
Ok. Medio había entendido. What you say.
I want to add something. Maybe there is another way to go for our voices of females are the cinema, for example.
Yes.
And the cinema is massive. So
it's
now, yeah, for
Asian.
example, now we have a good film now, a new film now. It's directed by a woman and it's telling about women's stories. And this is a way to arrive to different people, yeah, not to the individual. And you know, when it is something that is public, or like singers, or that you cannot deny the presence of these people, maybe there is the way to arrive with the female voice.
Yes, but we are free in our work, but free with some limited. Always, it's not free, and the times are changed. The times are changed. We need to adapt to this time. I try to put our voice in different ways, like said Karina. For example, I write books, and when I write books for children or teenagers, I had a newspaper for preteens, and it was very interesting because the newspaper has all the sections of a newspaper for adults, but I didn't put. I put all the all the opinions, and then I asked to the teens, what do they think? What do they think? Or what do they do in this case? So you can open the mind of this child, of this teen, and you can install other kind of reading people, because if you are reading with other mind, with other principles, without more objective, more real, and you can think about this with independence. You are trying to form other kinds of readers, other kinds of readers, other kinds of people, of teens, because this is very complex, because you must to change the school, the way that the way that they learn, and you must to go with newspapers, to books, and many messages that can the mind. Okay, that in this moment is so difficult, in this and the others too, but we are going to collaborate.
Tariq
Okay.
sir has been listening very patiently for a long time. Tariq sir, so please go ahead with your comments, and you wish to ask anything, please go ahead.
I've been listening very curiously and learning a lot. Thank you so much. Deseo hablar español, pero no puedo.
No importa, pero el resto no habla. ¿De dónde sos?
I live in Turkey, and Nikki and we were in Italy a few days ago.
Oh, in Italy. I love Italy.
Our awards. The shorter, the better. I was thinking about TV series, and for example, 20-minute episodes, or even 10-minute episodes, but by multi-continental women journalists. I want to ask, is there a women journalists, International Association of Women Journalists? I looked it up. There is one based in Washington, interested in certain rights of women journalists, etc. But how about daily life? For example, is there a platform, for example, to which you belong, with women journalists from other continents that you meet once a month, like a cafe, to say, you know, how are you, what's going on, etc. Such cafes can be very fruitful, and they can lead to stories and short video TV series, video series rather. Even these can be used to make a film now. I am an honorary woman. My mother brought me up. So about 20 years ago, on the 8th of March, I was giving us, I was I was the president of Pan Turkey Center, and I said, please accept me as an honorary woman because I respect women. My mother brought me up, etc. Okay, let me summarize it. Is there a cafe-like platform you are in with women journalists from, for example, 10, 15 women journalists from different continents? Is there a cafe, something like that? Or would you like to start one?
Okay. I don't know. Many series are not really. And many series are not. You can see the daily life of a journalist in a series, and have many imagination, and many things are real and many not. So if this is your question, is this your question?
Oh, I'm sorry, I talked too much and
Yes. Okay.
One.
Which is your question?
Questions. One, is there a cafe-like platform for women journalists? For example, you, other
No,
journalists.
don't
Yeah.
have. We don't have.
Would you like to start one? Would you like to be in a group?
I would like, because the women vision is so important in this world and is invisibilized. Is very, very important because we can see from other way. Men has their vision, and women can complement this vision, can enrich this vision, and it would be a good idea. Okay, Karina, come on.
Karina. I think that maybe they are not a group of journalism, but yes, there are women doing journalism from different backgrounds, like
Yes.
philosophers or academics or
Yes.
psychologists or politics or economics. And they are doing journalism. And I think that we, as women, we have this kind of communication that is horizontal, and we all communicate in between us. It's I follow women doing journalism, and there are cases that they have like lives in the media, and they meet women from, I don't know, Syria and from Argentina, and they talk about what's happening. But it's not about the profession of journalism.
No, it doesn't have to be about the profession of journalism.
Yeah.
Women doing journalism, their communication, your communication is
Yeah.
vital to build
Yes.
it. And
Yes.
from
It's a-
those communications, short stories, real life, based on real life, and then
In
share
our country, there are many war correspondents, many women that goes to the war. In our country have Carolina Moroso, por ejemplo, for example, from TN, she traveled to the war zones, and he worked a lot, and she wrote books, but there is not a site specific. It's like Karina says, some women that write and communicate, but it's not a site. It's a good idea, Tank. it's
No,
a good.
yes, sorry. And we have also now at this moment good writers.
Yes.
Good writers that are
Right.
telling stories. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes, they are. Yeah, there are good women writers that are telling stories and are giving the female sides of life.
I wrote many books for some men that are very, very popular in different subjects, in economic, in educational, and I wrote for them many times.
Alexandra, we would like to read some of your books also. And as Nirja ma'am has said, good morning, Nirja ma'am. She is in US, so just now it is morning for her. You have talked about violence against women in your presentation. Violence against women.
Okay, no, ¿qué dijo?
So,
habla muy rápido, no lo entiendo.
you can translate it later for her. Means in her presentation, she has, I think this we have to end after 5 minutes now, because we will be having another session of Veda Vyas. Just I want to ask this question that you have talked about violence against women journalists in the field of journalism in Argentina. So this is the same situation in India also. So what are the how is the government or other agency combating this problem? How you are trying to handle this situation?
Now, from the government, no, not.
What are the measures taken by government or private agency or women themselves to handle this situation?
All women must to join for in committees, in groups for thinking about this. There are not government politics about this, and the violence is especially in social media. In social media, you have many answers, and many women must to go. ¿Cómo se dice, Garina? Se fueron, abandonaron, give up, and many gave up the profession or the work. So it's so difficult. Women are asking for politics, government politics about this, But it's like social media. There are no more rules. There are no more rules for answers or for violence.
Okay.
Okay.
So since we have to end this program, I would like to thank all Alexandra ma'am, Dr. Shaminaz, the Nikki ma'am, Mondi, Arpita, Charles, Christopher, Tariq sir, Nirja ma'am, Rana, Tuba, and everyone present here who took out time to join us. It was a very informative session with you, Alexandra ma'am. Hi, Nikki ma'am. I can see you now. You've been
Grazie.
away.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I thank you all, and we hope to meet soon on one more informative session on the same subject. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Thank you so much.
I would like everybody to know that this beautiful lady has been involved with the Global Peace Ed Talk Youth Chapter for the past
Okay.
4 years.
Okay.
And she's had a lot of influence on the young people. She's absolutely amazing. Alexandra, we love you a lot.
Okay. Thank
Love
you. I love
Dr. Nikki,
you.
some of my young female students have also joined today, like Ashima. She had some problems, so she has left. And there is Arpita, Jagriti, and Sakshi. They are saying thank you to Alexandra, Gohar sir, Nikki, and GPLT team for attending, organizing this insightful lecture. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. And thank you. Thank you, everybody, for this opportunity. And thank you, Karim. You are my translator in many times. Bye-bye.
Thank you to everybody for joining.
Thank
We
you,
love
everyone.
all of you. Dr. Shaminaz, well done. Keep going. We love your events.
Although there is one question from Rose, but we would since we're running short of time, so we will take this question next time. So
Okay.
thank you, everyone.
About. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you, Arpita, Jagriti, Sakshi, and others, those who have joined today. I hope this session was fruitful for you all.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Alexandra.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Alexandra, I would like to read your books. I would like to read your books.
Okay. Okay, I didn't understand. What did you say?
Maybe ask if she doesn't mind, put a list of her books in your group, Dr. Shaminaz.
Okay.
Add a list of her books in your group, and then we could order. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the session.
Thank you, Amandi. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.